Appears to be a lot of people want to move off grid like myself instead of buying a house and actually make a living from it too. So I'm going to discuss how you do that. So there's a few ways to be making a living off your land and living your dream at the same time. It really depends on what level of graft you want to put in. So what level of work-life balance you actually want to achieve. So number one then, and a pretty obvious one as I'm using it, social media. Film little videos, post photos. You never know, you might make some traction on the algorithm and therefore you might be able to monetize your videos and make a little side income or even a large income, as some people are lucky enough to do. Now, the second favourite option is basically to start yourself an agricultural based business on your land, which is what I've done and talked about in a couple of other videos. Two real ways to do that in itself. And number one is you go down sort of an actual single product production type farm through a wholesale avenue. We used to do free range eggs wholesale, now we do maggots. Your second option is to be the more homesteady type vibe. And that'll be selling eggs from a couple of chickens, but more likely you want to be selling the eggs as fertilised hatching eggs or hatching the chicks and selling the actual chickens yourself. And you've also got that same option with little piggies like these. You actually sell sort of chickens and piglets and occasionally the odd whole pig as a bit of a side business now, but you can do that full time. It just requires having a decent number of animals and a decent number of things you can sell. For example, sell a chicken for about £20 to someone who wants to use it for laying eggs. So you need to sell 10 chickens to make £200 a month, 100 chickens to make £2,000 a month. Same with the pigs. We sell a pig for about £100 as a pig. Obviously you need to sell 20 of those a month if you want to make a living off it. But combined together, plus a few other things, suddenly adds up to a decent income. On to my next method, which is a favourite method of mine of bringing in income, which is growing veg. We have a market garden here, which we haven't sold too much of it this year because we've been too busy setting up the maggot business to be planting loads of stuff up, but it can be quite lucrative. A small sort of acre size market garden can provide upwards of £50,000 a year if you can grow enough veg in the right rotation and sell it all. As you can see, we're sort of well into the autumn now, and we've got ridiculous amounts of raspberries still coming through on our raspberry patch here, which is approximately sort of 15 metres long by a couple of metres wide, and we've already had roughly about £500 worth of raspberries off here this year, with I would say probably another £200-300 worth to go. So very small area, £500 or so income a year. Now obviously add in 10 different crops all bringing in £500 a year, you suddenly got an extra £5,000 in the coffers. This patch of tomatoes all got a blight, but this already produced sort of, I don't know how many, about 10 gallons of tomatoes before they got the blight. And there's many sort of guides out there. Quite a favourite channel of mine, Richard Perkins, he explains market gardening very well and how profitable it can be once you find the right avenues for sale. It's going to be sort of your local market really. People who live nearby quite often be enjoying a veg box from you if they know you, etc. So it's all about being personable with them, but also just your local markets and your local towns. Facebook and market events are great avenues for sales in this modern world. Market gardening is probably the most labour intensive activity you could do on a sort of small scale on an off-grid land to make an income. Yeah, to do it right, you sort of only been able to make an income for maybe 8-9 months of the year, because obviously you've got the winter time. Winter veg doesn't sell quite as well. During the actual growing months you've got a hell of a lot of work because you're doing sort of rotational planting usually, because if you want to make that £50,000 plus, a lot of planting, a lot of harvesting, a lot of weeding, a lot of general maintenance around your allotment area to actually get your plants to market. And as you've just seen with the tomatoes, there's always the risk that you can get sort of a blight, a mould, an insect infestation could wipe out 1 or 2 of your produces, so slightly riskier one as well, but obviously the money is there selling veg, and is also one of those you can add into a homesteader type business. Like I was saying, don't need to do a whole acre of market garden, or you don't need to grow a ridiculous amount of things. Say for example you just want to grow a load of garlics. You grow an extra couple of thousand garlics, that's an extra couple of £1,000 income on top of your couple of £1,000 income a year from chickens, a couple of £1,000 from pigs, a couple of £1,000 from goats, sell some hay, sell some wood. All starts adding up, doesn't it? Another fantastic option is basically using bits of your land to rent out to people. As you can see here, we've got quite a few allotments on this run now, fortunate enough to be relatively close to towns. people want space. Never enough allotment space in the UK in the town allotment, so put it out on the internet and you'll more than likely fill them up with people, and that's a monthly income for us off each one of these. And the same's to be said for any field space you've got. Basically, rent it out. This is a horse field, got no horse on it at the minute. Fortunately, can sort of make double bang from the buck with this land because we're doing the insect-based business. So that's all inside stuff. That's all in the livestock house now, which frees up all of this space for these side income. More than likely, if you are doing any kind of specialisation in production, you're going to be wrapping up all your infrastructure into that one avenue. So you won't want to be filling your fields with all sorts of different things. We mentioned about wood already, but if you're buying sort of a wooded land or land with more woods than this, then your number one income can probably just be chopping logs, selling kindling, making charcoal, that sort of business. We sell some wood, but we don't have that many trees. It's only really the odd fallen tree that we chop up, and we use most of that anyway on our own log burners. So not much wood for us to sell, but highly profitable at a ton bag for about £130 now on the marketplace. I guess it's sort of the final good option for making a bit of side income. Never be a full income, this won't, but renting out for caravans and camper vans, tents, people doing a bit of camping. If you've got a bit of field that's away from you, etc., that you wouldn't mind people staying on, various websites like pitchup.com, a few other things that basically will bring people to your farm, and it'll be £20 here, £20 there, or could add up over a month. Will definitely add up over a year. Around the same premise is basically little holiday stays. If you've got some sort of little shepherd's hut or your own camper van that you could put on your land, make a little plot from, those Airbnbs go for about £100 a night, so a very good option, and something I'm definitely looking at doing here. I hope all that gives you a bit more of an idea of how you can buy land and actually make an income, so live your dream and actually pay to do it at the same time. But if anyone out there's got any of their own ideas that they already do or are looking to do to make a bit of money off grid, then drop them in the comment box below for everyone to have a little gander at, share the wealth of ideas and all that. And if you've got any other questions about the off-grid life, drop them below too, and I'll do my best to answer them. Bye bye.